But that peacock never lived on a farm. He had no idea what to do. So he spread his fancy feathers and set to shrieking. Ugh. Eventually, the peacock wandered down the road. The cars whizzed by. He shook his feathers and crowed his loudest voice. Of course, folks stopped for a closer look. That's a peacock. See all the feathers? Yeah, he's got a bunch of colorful feathers. Day after day.
Peacock.
That is a peacock. Day after day.
Chicken.
Yes, chickens. Day after day, more folks stopped to admire the peacock. They bought tomatoes and corn, eggs and milk.
Apple.
And apples, I guess so.
Apple.
Those are actually tomatoes.
The apple.
Those are all tomatoes. Okay. Are you going to let me finish reading? Okay. Business on the Tucker's farm was booming. Everyone seemed happy to have visitors stopping by. But trouble was brewing in the hen house. Hens were squawking and clucking and flapping their wings. We all do the work around here. I'd like to see that peacock lay one single egg. Eventually, exactly, he struts his stuff and screams. I suppose fancy feathers are more important than laying eggs.
Chicken right here.
No, there's no more. There's more than 2 chickens. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. That lazy peacock gets all the attention, and we do all the work. The peacock had heard every word. For days he moped about, moaning and groaning. I wish I could be more useful here. Clucked the hen, and the others ruffled their feathers. That old hound stretched and slowly raised his head. That is a dog, yep.
Is that a cow? Is that a cow?
Yep, and cows and chickens and a peacock. Okay.
A chicken.
Yep. Okay, let me finish reading it.
Yeah, Emma.
Why not let the peacock stay here?
Mama.
What?
Yeah, Emma.
All the animals, yeah. Stay here to be useful while the hens take the glamorous job down the road. The 3 hens began clucking one to another. That's wonderful. Yes, it's a fabulous idea. Oh, ladies, we just simply must fancy up our feathers tonight and do nothing but our brightest beds, bangles, and bows. We'll stop the traffic for sure, while you girls I know can strut the best of them. The peacock perked up. Let's do it, he declared. Tomorrow I'll stay here and sit on the nest and cluck. And we'll get up and all gussied up, said the hens, and we'll be so glamorous. Okay. At sunrise the next morning, the hens strutted down the road. Look at all those necklaces they got on. The peacock. Yep. The peacock marched right into the hen house and poked his head inside. The hens flocked by the road, waiting for a car. When one approaching, they clucked and squawked and flopped their wings in a flurry of feathers. But every car whizzed right by. The peacock stuck his tummy and wiggled left to right, trying to squeeze into the tiny henhouse door. His front half was in, but his back half was out. Down the road, those hens tried everything, every trick they knew. Still, no cars stopped. Finally, the peacock made it into the henhouse. He held his breath and pushed with all his might. But no matter how hard he tried, he could not lay one single egg. Not one. The old hound stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. "What's that peacock doing in the hen house?" asked Farmer Tucker. "Who knows," says Mrs. Tucker. "And what are those hens doing by the road?" Well, he thinks they're going crazy. Not a one of them is up there laying their eggs. "Well, the way things are going, we aren't likely to have anyone buying eggs today," said Farmer Tucker. "We need to get that peacock down there stopping cars." When the peacock heard that, he smiled.
Two peacock.
Yep.
The one peacock, two peacock.
Yes. There's one on this page and one on that page.
One this page, one that page.
Yep.
One Halloween, two Halloween.
Okay. Yep, there's a lot of wings. Okay, and feathers. When the peacock heard that, he smiled. The biggest smile he ever saw on his beak. "I am helping," he thought. He squirmed back and forth until he popped right out of that cramped hen house. Then he trotted off to find those hens. The exhausted hens were all clucked out. Every feather was out of place. Whew, what a day. When we couldn't get one car to stop. It's true. Why, most of them didn't even slow down.
Ow.
The peacock met the hens as they trudged up the road. "I can tell you, I'm no good at laying eggs," he said. "I'm just not meant for that." One hen nodded. "I put on my stellar strut, and even I couldn't even stop one car," she said. "I have a hand to you, Fancy Feathers. Your job is harder than it looks." The other hens agreed. The peacock looked relieved. So the hens marched right back up into the hen house. The peacock strutted down the road.
I put.
The old hound stretched out on the porch, watched and listening, and things were quiet again on the Tuckers' farm. The end.